My name is Evelyn Carter. And when I was 16 years old, my parents abandoned me at a train station, like I was nothing but a burden. They called it a lesson. I call it the day I died and the day I was reborn. That memory still lives in me like a scar carved on the inside of my soul. The day started like any other. I had just gotten back from school. My mom had that tight-lipped expression she wore whenever she was disappointed. My father sat in his recliner, arms crossed, TV on mute. "We're going for a drive," my mother said. No explanation. The silence in the car was suffocating. I asked where we were going. She didn't answer. My father just stared out the window like I wasn't even in the back seat. My chest tightened with a strange kind of panic something was wrong. I could feel it. When we pulled up to the train station, I remember thinking maybe they were sending me to my aunt's house. Maybe this was another punishment. But I never imagined what came next. My father opened the back door. "Get out," he said flatly. "What?" "Get out." I stood there, shaking, still wearing my school uniform, my backpack on my shoulder. My mom reached into her purse and handed me a $5 bill. "Figure out how to get home," she said. "This is a lesson in gratitude. Maybe when you've had to work for something, you'll stop being so ungrateful." And just like that, they drove away. I chased the car for a few steps, screaming, begging, crying. I waited at that train station for hours, thinking they'd come back, thinking this was some twisted test. But the sun set, the temperature dropped, and the realization sank in like ice water. They weren't coming back. They never came back. I was 16, alone and utterly destroyed. At first, I refused to believe it. I told myself I must have misunderstood. But day after day passed. I slept behind benches in alleyways, in any corner that offered even the slightest shelter. I washed up in gas station bathrooms. I got blisters from walking the city, asking for work, food, anything. Most people ignored me, but one diner manager gave me a chance. He let me wash dishes at night in exchange for food. Eventually, he paid me under the table. I saved every coin. I read books left behind by customers. I taught myself quietly, desperately. I enrolled in night school, took the GED, and I passed. By the time I was 18, I had no family, no safety net, no support, but I had ambition. I worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs. One morning shift at a coffee shop, one evening gig at a hospital cleaning floors, and weekend nights scrubbing bathrooms in a nightclub. I slept 3 hours a day and studied during breaks. I was too tired to cry, but I kept going, because I made a promise to that 16-year-old girl alone on that bench that I would never be that powerless again. By 21, I earned a scholarship to a state university. I majored in business, and I treated every class like a lifeline. I networked. I learned to code. I studied marketing until my eyes burned. And by 26, I launched my own business. At first, it was small. Just me and a cheap laptop in a rented closet-sized office. I cold emailed local businesses offering to help them grow online. I created websites, ran ads, built brands. Slowly, clients came in. They stayed. They referred others. I built systems. I built teams. I built trust. 10 years later, Evelyn Carter Marketing was a multi-million-dollar firm. Global clients. 100 employees. My own building. I had everything I dreamed of. Peace, power, freedom. And then, they found me. It was a normal Tuesday. My assistant buzzed into my office. "There's a couple here. They say they're your parents." My stomach dropped. I hadn't heard those words in over 20 years. I told her to let them in. Deborah and Thomas Carter walked into my office like they belonged there. Older, slower, but just as emotionally cold. "We saw you in the paper," my mother said with a smile. We're proud of you, sweetheart. Sweetheart. The word made me sick. My father added, we're going through a rough patch. Medical bills. House payments. We were hoping you could help us out. Help them. The people who abandoned me like garbage were asking for help. I kept my voice calm. You left me at a train station. My mother's smile didn't falter. And look how you turned out. You should be thanking us. We made you strong. My hands trembled under the table. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I simply stood up and said, we're done here. But they weren't done with me. 2 weeks later, I received court papers. They were suing me, claiming I owed them parental compensation for the success I'd achieved, saying it was because of their tough love that I had anything at all. They tried to flip the story. They claimed they were the victims, that I abandoned them. They went to tabloids, sold twisted versions of my life, leaked photos from my social media. They tried to destroy my name, my reputation, my business. But they had forgotten something very important. I wasn't that scared little girl anymore. I fought back. I hired the best lawyers money could buy. I brought forward documentation, police reports, affidavits from people who helped me in those early years. I showed the court my therapy records, dated journals, emails to shelters. I showed proof. And then I went public. I released this video, telling the world what really happened. Not for sympathy, for truth. The video went viral. My clients stayed with me. My brand grew. And the court? They dismissed my parents' lawsuit with prejudice. They walked out of that courtroom broken, humiliated, powerless, just like they left me 20 years ago. Only difference? I recovered. They never will. So here I am, not to gloat, but to remind every person watching this right now. You can survive anything. You are allowed to walk away from people who break you. You are allowed to rebuild your life from scratch and never look back. And when they try to come back, not with love but with greed, manipulation, entitlement, you can say no, not with anger, but with peace. Because success isn't just about money. It's about freedom. And revenge? Revenge is building a life so powerful they can't touch it. So if you felt this, if you've ever been discarded, doubted, or destroyed by the people who should have protected you, like this video, subscribe to my channel. And remember, you are not obligated to keep toxic people in your life, not even if they raised you. Especially if they didn't. Moral of the story. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes, family is found in the people who show up when the world turns its back on you. Sometimes, it's you rescuing yourself. You don't owe anyone your silence, your pain, or your success. Letting go doesn't make you cruel. It makes you free. Walk away, reclaim your life, and never apologize for choosing peace over pain.